Hello! So today we're going to do another Set 12 PBE game. So in this game, I'm going to be going over the Nunu Hero Augment. So if you haven't seen it, basically it's very strong. Nunu is a Honeymancy, or basically like it's one of the B units. So a lot of times you're ending up rerolling the B units anyways. So having the Nunu Hero Augment puts you in a really good spot in a lot of those comps. Because it's at 12 PB, I've basically been hard forcing and trying my best to play most of these hero augments really early on. And we'll talk about like what I think about the augment, how I think you should build towards it, and some general tips. Obviously this is PB, things are subject to change, there's a lot of balancing, as well as bugs that are present that are all going to be trying fixed up before the Set 12 fully releases for TFT. But this is more for like learning in advance, so take it with a grain of salt. Some of these things might change, as well as I might not have the most optimal build here, but I'll give you my logical reasoning for it and like what I think would be probably an unoptimal or semi-optimal build that you can try out and you could play in your sets and your games, and you could try it out right now. So Sweet Tooth, this is the Nunu Hero Augment. So basically Nunu now, Nunu and Willem, I don't know which one's Nunu and which one's Willem. Your strongest Nunu gains 2 health per... Well, they just say Nunu, so I'll just call it as Nunu, right? I know that, like, I think Nunu's the person on top, right? Either way. Basically what happens is, I had a Honeymancy opener, right? So I had a couple Honeymancy units. Basically, usually try and play 5 Honeymancy. Honeymancy as a trait, we'll start with the trait first. Actually, no, we can start with this. So basically, look what it says here. It says, Nunu now deals 2% bonus damage for 100 health, and every time... that the Nunu casts, the Nunu hits the lowest HP unit, and if you kill the unit, you gain 35 HP. If you think that sounds kind of similar to something, it's very similar to Set 9 Cho'Gath. If you played Set 9, there was a Cho'Gath 1 cost unit, and there was a Cho'Gath reroll line in Set 9, and it became actually like really prevalent in Set 9.5, and that's where it was like extremely dominant. It was like a constant meta strategy the whole set. And basically the way that worked is that every time Cho'Gath would kill a unit with his ult, he would get 35 HP. So in this case, it's the same way. Every time Nunu kills a unit, you get 35 HP. So it's really important to be strong early. So if you were taking this augment in a normal game, I wouldn't necessarily take it unless you had good items to slam onto the Nunu already. The Nunu seems a little bit weird to build the items for, in my opinion, just because Nunu's regular ability, or the ability that it has now, scales off HP. So ideally you want to give some sort of HP item. Nunu's 2 traits are Honeymancy. So Honeymancy basically works by all the damage that you do as well as you receive. You basically do bonus damage in the forms of these extra bees that are attached to your unit, right? So it favors a lot rerolling, because basically when you reroll, all your units basically contribute to doing a bunch of damage, as well as if you reroll your frontline units like the Nunu and the Blitzcrank is the other frontline unit, then they'll absorb a lot of damage and that will transfer into the Honeymancy trait, giving them a lot of damage, right? So the idea is that usually you're rolling on level 5 and you're trying to hit all the Honeymancy units. Because this Nunu Hero Augment, usually you want to support the Nunu by building towards the traits that the Nunu has. So you want to build Honeymancy, and often you'll probably build Bastion after that. So Bastion, if you haven't seen the Bastion trait, Bastion is this set's Behemoth or Bastion of the previous set. It's basically the one, it's this defensive trait that gives armor and magic reduction. So the more Bastions you have in, the more armor and magic reduction will be stacked onto the Nunu. So the Nunu is a defensive unit. Essentially does a lot of AP damage and is going to get a lot of it has a lot of scaling off their AP, and is going to get a lot of armor and MR, so it's going to have a lot of natural resistances due to the Bastion trait. So when I'm thinking about Nunu and what I want to build on Nunu, it's kind of weird because there's 2 facets to it, right? You scale your damage, like you do additional damage based on how much HP you have. I think because of that, you really want to make a Warmogs, because there's no other HP, I don't know, you want an HP scaling item, right? So you don't want an item that just gives you HP, right? You don't want an item that's like plus 100 HP, because that's kind of useless. It's not like build belt items, because like, you know, Nunu is going to be gaining HP, killing off units anyways, so it's like, it is what it is. What you want is, what now, Warmogs has been changed, that Warmogs adds 12% bonus health. Right, similar to like when you have bruisers and they give percentage increased health. So in this case, Warmogs I think is one of the better items you can make. Here I kind of messed up. I didn't take the Warmogs because I was still trying to figure it out. I want to make Crown Guard as well, because Crown Guard gives a max health shield because we want to scale our HP. So I'm thinking to myself, I want a lot of AP, I want defensive items, and I want like tankiness, right? I don't think that you want to necessarily build like a Rabadons or something like that. Like maybe it's best to like, because you're gonna gain if you get to a point where you are like vertical bastion and you're like 6 bastion or something like that, the chances are you are tanky enough with the HP to just like stack AP. AP seems really important on Nunu because both the healing as well as the damage scales off of AP only. It doesn't scale off HP, right? There's some units like, for example, Elise's damage scales off her HP. So if you watch the video that's on my channel when I talked about the Elise Spider Queen Hero Augment, it felt really nice to play vertical shapeshifters and have like some sort of like HP related things because it scaled that by a lot, right? Here, because you have the defensive traits already, I think Warmogs might be good, which is what I eventually want to build, and AP tank items is what I was trying to go for. So I want to build like a Crown Guard and a Adaptive Helm, right? So I want to do Crown Guard, Adaptive Helm, Warmogs, but it might be something like Warmogs, Rabadons, JG, right? You might just build full damage. I don't know which of the two is better, but only time will tell. Whenever I'm thinking of a frontline unit, I would usually just think to myself, I'd rather them just have frontline items, even if it is a hero augment, because to me, Nunu doesn't really strike me, especially if you don't have like vertical bastion in, right? It feels like if I just build towards raw AP, like if I make a Rabadon's, JG, Nashor's Tooth, for example, I don't think I'll get to a point of 6 bastion until much later in the game, because I'm going to be playing a lot of these Honeymancy units, right? I think it's more beneficial to like scale your damage off Honeymancy and just being a general tank, if that makes sense. So those are the two ideas that I thought of for playing Nunu and playing this hero augment. So what my goal is to make a Crown Guard, probably make a Spark if I can make a Spark, and make a Warmogs, right? The Warmogs especially is just because you deal 2% bonus damage per 100 max health. There's no HP scaling. Warmogs gives the HP scaling. So not only does it give 600 HP, which basically gives plus like 12% damage, right? Which is a lot. The Warmogs also gives 12% max health buff. So basically if my Nunu starts scaling their HP a lot, then we'll get to a point where that HP will be converted into damage. So it's multifaceted, right? And that's mostly because like, I think usually when you have these like scaling hero augments, like this would be a lot better on like an Elise, for example, right? Because if Elise was gaining HP every single time, it scales naturally because you're playing Shapeshifter, which is equivalent to like Bruisers. Because the tank augment for this dude isn't HP related, it's just armor and MR reduction. You don't have anything that scales that HP up, so it feels a little bit wasted if you don't make something like a Warmogs. I think, aren't there other items that also scale HP? Does Declaw scale HP? I forget. I know there's another tank item that scales HP. Please check it. I should double check it. There's one more defensive item that stacks HP, and I forget which one it is. It might be Declaw. And it might be better to make Declaw than Warmogs in that case. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. But like I said, that's our goal, right? So here, the charm. So in this set, there's charms. Every 2 to 3 shops, you get a charm that you can buy. So basically, I buy this charm that just gives everybody belts. I feel like it's a good idea here because I'll just have extra items. Okay, so we went through all of the intro stuff. I went through, talked about the traits, talked about all the other stuff. Hopefully that was a good for your understanding of the units and everything else. Now I'll actually talk about the gameplay and the game plan and what we're doing with the actual build path, right? So I'm gonna make with these items. I think usually when you play Honeymancy, you usually itemize Vigor. Vigor scales into late game because if you buy charms, the Vigor gains AP. So a lot of times you'll play towards Vigor, and then you'll play 3 Mage, which is the synergy for Vigor, and you'll play as a Vigor carry. Because I want to roll, I basically want to level to level 6, and I want to slow roll to try and hit this Nunu 3. Right now, I don't have that many Nunus. This is what I mean by you really want to take this specific hero augment. I say this with all the hero augments, but specifically this one, because it deals with scaling. You want to only play this if you have a good Nunu start, right? Because as you can see here, I only have a Nunu 1. I don't even have Nunu upgraded yet. Here, a magic wand, I might as well just take it, right? Because it gives me spark, so I'm just gonna make spark for this dude. And even though so it would make sense to like itemize towards the Vigor. I think Kog'Maw is really strong. Kog'Maw also has anti-heal built in. So because I'm going to be rolling for Nunu and I'm going to be rolling on level 6 for like 2 costs, I pretty much just want to play towards Nunu, and Kog'Maw carry, I think, is a little bit more efficient. Because I think it's going to take a while for the Vigor to get online. And also the way that I had my items, I got dropped 2 swords, right? I don't have any tiers. I don't have anything else, right? If I had Vigor items, I'd itemize towards Vigor because it would probably make sense here. I made Spark on the Nunu just because in my head, the way I see it, it's like, okay, well, Spark, the Nunu is going to be attacking units and it's going to be the one that's going to be alive the longest. I'd rather have the Shred built into the Nunu so that I don't have to worry about them doing anything or running into any problems. Anyways, now that I have double item and I have the Nunu, you'll see that I'll constantly check to see if my HP is scaling. Now that I'm actually killing units and my Nunu is living and not just dying instantly, I'm actually starting to scale, right? Imagine if I had a better opener for this hero augment, right? This is obviously a little bit risky, and you know I'm playing against like less optimized boards because it's PBE. I wouldn't take this augment unless you have a good Nunu start. Like you feel like, okay, I can win a lot of stage 2 rounds. Because if you can win a lot of stage 2 rounds and you have good item slams and everything, then your Nunu would have been scaling in stage 2 already. And that translates to a lot more damage into later game, right? Losing a lot, like, you know, especially in stage 2 when people have like weaker boards. I think it's really important to get that scaling done early. Right? That's just my opinion. Here I want to play Bastions after this. So I'm going to play 5 Honeymancy. I'm just going to keep leveling for Bastions after I hit my units. Right? That's my goal. I'm checking to see what Bastions exist because I'm just curious. I might also play a Hunter at one point because at one point it's going to be awkward to play. Like, you know, you can play 4 Bastion, but then when you can't play 6 Bastion right away, so you have to play 1 extra unit in between. So I'm probably going to play a Hunter. I'm just going to synergize towards this Kog'Maw because I have decent Kog'Maw items. Kog'Maw is doing a lot of damage. I think Kog'Maw is pretty good in these Honeymancy comps. I think he's a little bit of a slept-on unit compared to some of the other Honeymancy units, namely Vigor. I'm pretty sure Vigor is going to get nerfed before release or something like that's going to happen, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, Nunu's here. I'm probably going to take Nunu for Nunu's sake, right? Just because, like, you know, I really need to... I'm a little bit behind tempo in terms of, like, actually having all the Nunus that I would require, but I only have 3 and I rolled up my gold. I already sent it to try and get these upgrades early. My Bastion also is kind of lame. It would be better if I had like a little bit of a stronger Bastion, but it's okay. Like I said, typically when you're playing normal Honeymancy, I think what you do is you play like this core. You'll play like a Bastion, then you'll level for mages and play towards Vigor carry, right? In this case, I'm going to be rolling strictly for Nunu and Kog'Maw, and I want to play like vertical Bastion because I want the Nunu to gain as much defensive stats as possible. As you can see here, I scaled 140 extra health. So every time I kill a unit, I gain 35 permanent health, right? And because I have like, you know, I made AP items because I'm trying to like scale up my healing a little bit. I also took Magic Wand so that I can scale up my healing a little bit. You'll see that my Nunu kind of gets overwhelmed pretty easily in a lot of the fights. I think that, like I said, 2 Bastion is nothing, right? 4 Bastion and 6 Bastion is when you really start to get into some defensive traits. So right now, my Nunu doesn't really have that much defensive capabilities. This is why I was saying I don't really believe in just raw damage Nunu. I don't think it's also like make an Omnivamp item because you're going to heal 500 off of your AP. I think it just works more efficiently to make tank/AP items instead of like a healing item. Like I don't think it's ever like Bloodthirster Nunu or Hodge Nunu. I think that's a little bit like bait. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's like really essential for like sustain. But I think that if you have like Bastion, you know, Crown Guard gives you a max HP shield at the start of the round. That's pretty good. And then you can maybe like kill off a couple units. Make sure you don't get too overwhelmed and then work towards it. Spark seems like it's good. But I think it's probably better. Like if you're playing towards Vigor especially, you could just make like a Shiv. And then it frees up a spot for like 1 extra like Giga item on Nunu, right? Like imagine if instead of Spark, I had Shiv here and then I had like Rabadons on Nunu, right? Because Spark doesn't add that much defensive stats. It really just helps with the damage output. So you can see here, I think I still win this fight, right? Whenever you're a hero augment, right? We have similar strength boards because I rolled, right? I have a bunch of upgrades already. I even found the Ziggs 3, but I feel like Ziggs doesn't do that much damage at all. Right? Like if you look at, like, I know it's no item Ziggs and there's no encounter in, but I never really itemized towards the Ziggs in these cases. But as you can see, I'm still like that's like usually the strength of the hero augment. You want to win out stage 3 because you basically just get your upgrades, and then your upgrades are strong enough to sustain yourself, and then usually in stage 4 you're trying to go for 3 stars, right? And that's like the idea. Usually also with the Honeymancies, usually roll at level 5 because you're trying to get Blitzcrank 3 and this guy 3 as well. So the odds drop a lot when you go to level 6, and you're kind of wasting a bit of gold going to level 6. But in this case, I'm prioritizing that I need Nunu way more than I need Blitzcrank, as well as the Ziggs. So I'd rather just roll on 6 odds to make sure that I hit these 2 units. Like I said, I'm holding on to these items. I have anti-heal in the form of Kog'Maw a little bit, right? It's not the best anti-heal, but it's enough to, it's enough for me not to be too worried. Here it would have been funny. I could have had Rabadons. I could have had like the build that I was saying if I didn't make Spark and I made Shiv or something like that. But here I'm like double checking again because I'm trying to see, right? This is what I was saying, that like the damage and the healing doesn't necessarily scale off of the AP, and but a lot of the damage also comes from HP because of the hero augment. So I really want to make Warmogs because it gives 12% max HP, right? It gives bonus HP. Here I'm rolling a little bit. Trying to hit as many copies of these units as possible. Ooh, do I make Rabadons on him? Oh my god, wait. No, it should be Warmogs. Oh no, what did I do here? I think that's a big mistake. Oh, I probably get a remove when I switch it around. That's crazy. Okay, I'm pretty sure I put Warmogs on the dude. Why did I put Rabadons? Okay, I think it's Warmogs for sure. I've been talking about Warmogs, so I thought that's what I did. I don't think it's Rabadons. Yeah, you see how he died so early? Like, this is definitely, like, I get at least 2 more stacks if I played, oh my god, imagine if I lost this fight too. I get at least 2 more stacks if I put a Warmogs on the dude. That's crazy. Oh, a Bastion Crest. That's pretty good. And it gives a Nunu. Martyr is probably important as well. Probably pretty good as well. The Riza Crowd is, it's okay. But not really. It's not really necessary. I'm not playing that many 3 costs. Oh, your team gains 40% health. Do I just take that instead of Bastion Crest? I'm kind of down for this. Okay, so I made Rabadons. That's kind of scary. Okay, so this is going to be like a Giga damage Nunu, right? So this is what I was saying was the other build. I thought I didn't go this. Oh, God. Why didn't I believe in Warmogs? I should probably calculate it. I think Warmogs is better than Rabadons. I think Warmogs is better than Spark for sure. I should just Spark somebody else, I think. Because you're not doing AoE with the Nunu anyways. Item Collector. Item Collector gives a bunch of stats. So basically I gain an extra 120 HP. So it works out pretty nicely. Am I gonna do item pop when I hit Nunu 3? Maybe I do that. We'll see what happens. But anyways, nonetheless, we're just gonna slow roll 50 gold here. I'm pretty strong, right? I'm streaking. So I'm down to just keep like rolling, buying charms here, right? The charms are really nice because the charms allow me to also scale the Vigor. Every charm that you buy, he gains AP. Gaining a spatula is kind of whack because I can make a Honeymancy spatula, which might help out my board a little bit, but it's not that essential because you don't really spike off 6, and I'm already gonna play these units, right? I could drop my frontline, my Blitzcrank for like a different frontline unit, but it's like it's not that big of a deal. I'm pretty close to each of these. I'm just kind of playing it. Yeah, so the idea here that I put with Rabadons is that I'm just trying to like heal more because I don't think that I heal that much off of just the normal damage, but I'm pretty sure HP does both. HP gives you tankiness and it gives you more healing because it just increases your damage output, which should increase the healing. Yeah, I'm probably gonna I might lose a fight soon. My Nunu is dying too soon, so I definitely think it's a bad build path, right? I definitely think it's better if I put some kind of a stronger item on it, some kind of stronger defensive item. Him slash her, they them. I'm not sure. I don't want to misgender. What do I take here? Oh, I probably just take redemption. Yeah, it's probably just redemption. All right, so we just went full AP thing. So I never actually make the Warmogs. I guess I just thought about it so much afterwards, and I think that I think I willed it into my mind that this game I had made Warmogs, which is so funny if you're a viewer. But yeah, it's all good. Okay, so now I'm one off Nunu. So if you're one off of a unit, typically you just roll for it because it spikes you by so much. That's not worth it to, like, you know what I mean? The extra econ that you would make, you'd rather just like spike off of it. So now I'm this. I guess it works out if I have more bastions in. We'll see how Rabadon's works out. I don't think it's the right play, but I do have a lot of AP now, right? Scales up by a lot. But I do think Warmogs would end up being more damage. But we'll see. So now it's funny, you know, whenever I see this Nunu, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Promised Consort, you know, for no spoilies, but you know, Elden Ring. It's not really a spoiler unless you know what I'm talking about. That's what it reminds me of. We have Promised Consort Willump now, which I think is the name of the beast, or Nunu, whichever one is the beast. Promised Consort Beast here. Because we're just gonna steamroll basically, right? I'm in a decent spot, right? I'm really close to hitting both Vigor and this guy. As you can see, I'm always buying charms. I'm trying to buy charms every single round as long as I remember it, because it scales my Vigor as well, and I can itemize my Vigor next. But basically, I'm 2 Bastion now. I can level up for a Hunter, right? So when I level up for a Hunter, this guy will gain a little bit of damage, right? Which will help spread out the damage on my board, which makes me like a little bit less susceptible to just, like, you know, relying solely on the Nunu Hero Augment. And then once I hit higher levels, like if I make it to level 8, then I could just play 4 Bastion. If I make it to level 9, I can play 4 Bastion and a Hunter. And I think that's like my capped board. In some cases, it might just be play 6 Bastion. I think with this build that I did, it's probably play 6 Bastion. But as you can see, I'm not sure if this is optimal. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's better to make other items, but it is not even close. Like, I'm walking around, and every time I cast my ult, my dude does like 1,000 damage, right? Like 1,300 damage, which only scales more the more that I eat, right? The more that Nunu kind of chews on some peeps. So right now I'm just rolling because I'm one off of this the Kog'Maw. I wouldn't mind just grabbing the Kog'Maw, playing a Hunter. I should probably hold on to this guy just in case, or this guy just in case I don't see a Hunter in a later shop. And then I want to play towards like 4 Bastion, just get a lot more armor and MR to make my dude a little bit tankier, right? The augment that I have, it scales my units basically if they get a lot of if they have varied items, right? So I want to make different items on each unit. As you can see, I'm just buying a charm every single round as long as I can see one. And it works out well because I want to roll for the Kog'Maw anyways. So here I'm trying to decide like what's my best Kog'Maw item. I think I just make a guard breaker, right? I'm kind of down for just some extra tankiness. I throw the belt on this guy because it's just an extra belt. And yeah, we level to 7. I'm going to roll a couple times. I already bought a charm, so I probably don't have to roll anymore. But I was rolling for a Hunter, which I didn't hold on to. So now I have an Olaf here, so I can just hold on to the Olaf. I can also probably fit in a better Bastion. I'm definitely missing some stuff, right? But it's okay. I'm not too worried about it. This guy already has a Zareth, which is pretty cool. But as you can see, we're just kind of in waiting room here. We're kind of just like chilling. The Nunu is basically steamrolling everybody. I feel like this Hero Augment, I don't even think my spot was particularly great. I don't think my item breakdown, I don't think this is like Bis Nunu, you know what I mean? If it is and I nailed it just by fluke, that would be pretty funny, right? But like I think like you'll obviously see when it's optimized that there's a little bit better things you can play, right? In this case, it's like not only do I have Nunu 3, I also high rolled a lot of Vigors. I'm literally Vigor 3 before hitting the Kog'Maw 3, despite starting with so many Kog'Maws. So now I'm in an awkward spot where I would have preferred to itemize the Vigor. It just sucked. I got dropped a bunch of swords, bows, gloves. You know, it was really hard to make Vigor items. But my next itemization is going to probably just be Vigor in this case, right? Usually when you're playing Viger, you want to play vertical mage. It's a little bit hard to fit in when you're playing like this type of front line with Bastion and all of this stuff. But yeah, I just put Hunter in because it's a little bit easier to put it so that my Kog'Maw does some extra damage. I haven't lost a fight, right? I'm like 12 streaking since I got Nunu 2. Basically, as soon as I hit Nunu 2, I was strong. I hit Nunu 3 right in time, so that as you can saw, there's a couple fights where I was just last unit alive was Nunu. So I hit Nunu 3 right in time, and I'm just like winning every single fight. Obviously, some of the boards are less optimized, but at the same time, my board isn't super optimized. So, you know, with transitive property or whatever, like it's still a strong augment, a strong hero augment. I don't even think my spot was particularly good for Nunu because, like I said, I didn't scale in stage 2, right? I did have an early Viger, so I have been scaling up my Viger here by quite a bit. But I'm level 7, 60 gold. You know, it's 5-3, so it's a little bit late. But I'm still going to make it to level 8. Once I'm level 8, I can play 4 Bastion, but I can probably even just sit and go level 9. I can play 4 Bastion plus a Hunter, play around the Kog'Maw. I don't have Mage in for Viger, but I don't have Viger items anyway, so it's fine. And I have 3-star everybody except... Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to draw there. I have 3-star everybody except for Blitzcrank. So the board worked out pretty well. Right, I pretty much hit everything. This would be an above average Honeymancy game in a lot of cases. This guy seems pretty strong. He has the this is the, like, I forget what it's called, but it's like the Eldritch Beast augment, where it's like it powers up the Eldritch Beast and the Eldritch trait. So that's why his Eldritch Beast has like giga items. So it's actually very, very strong. He's also level 950, so he's trying to go level 10. So that guy's gonna be a little bit scary to deal with. Sugarcraft Emblem. I know there's a Sugarcraft player, but I'm not really in a spot to deny or deal with any of this. I probably just want Shojin. Shojin for Viger seems like a good idea. If it's not Shojin for Viger, then it's probably just take some other item like a Guard Breaker maybe, or Giant Slayer. Looking at the HP, I got the Shojin, so it's fine. I can buy the Blitzcrank. That's cool. It's probably play Taric. Taric's just a better Bastion than this shitter. The Poppy. Poppy's really strong, mind you, but Poppy 2 in this situation isn't that great. I probably should just play... oh, I didn't buy the Taric. Oh, that's a mistake. I'm pretty sure Taric 1 is better than Poppy 2. Taric is just really, really good. He's one of the best defensive units. So far, at least. It might change before live. But up until now, he's still really strong. Yeah, we're going to start itemizing Viger. We're buying our charms, making sure that our Viger scales AP. Hopefully I can show the AP scaling on Viger at one point. You'll see that it says, like, in his bio that he has, like, some AP scaling. This board looks kind of scary, if I'm not going to lie. He's really stacked up what's it called? Sugarcraft? Yeah, that's what I expected. Dual Q, you gain a 5 cost. Sugar, yeah. Basically, the way this works is it's similar to 8-bit, right? Basically, you basically gain a bunch of, except instead of just AD, you gain AP and AD based on your stacks. And then once you reach a certain amount of stacks, you start getting like cash outs, right? The cash outs aren't like insane, but I don't know when they start to get super insane, but it still gives you like components and items. So you're up like a lot of resources as long as you have Sugarmancy, Sugarcraft the whole game. So that's a board that's going to probably outcap me. But then again, I'm 80 gold. I'm level 7. I still have lots of room to improve my board space, right? Viger with 3 items would be huge. Getting 4 Bastion in would also be huge. And scaling I scale infinitely. So if I can outscale that my Nunu gets a bunch of HP, I should be fine. Yeah, we want Nunu to kill as many units as possible, gain some more HP stacks, which is nice. Here it's a free level. I could just level to 8, just have 8 odd shops. Nice. Put in a Bastion. Cool. Would want 1 more Bastion eventually. So I have 4 Bastion. That's my final board. Obviously, I can play better Bastions as well. I have Frost. You know, if I can make it to level 10, there's a really cool board you can play on level 10, because you can play 3 Frost as well. And you can play like Diana too. And I'm pretty sure that's like the max cap that you want to go for, because it synergizes really well and all your units are pretty quality. Another Rabadons. Yeah, I might as well. Oh, sorry, the portal was pot of gold. So now we just gained a bunch of gold because it's 6-1. So because 6-1, I can just level straight. I might even try to go to level 10. But anyways, here we go. 4 Bastion. Definitely play Diana. Right, Diana 2 is going to be broken as shit. Drop the Poppy. Yeah, I'm down. I don't think Poppy's that great. And just play like higher cost units. I want to play a Taric eventually, like a Taric 2. I should have played the Taric already. I'm rolling for some upgrades because, like, you know, all of these are 1-starred. So I want a little bit more tankiness in my front line so I can deal with some of these like more well-rounded boards, right? Nunu's still alive, so I'm pretty sure I win this fight, right? A lot of it is just down to like my Nunu not getting bursted down. Maybe it is just make raw damage. I don't know. It depends how much the HP scaling for Warmogs is. I definitely have to math it out. Like, what's 12%? How much health does my unit have, right? 12% of whatever this HP is, right? Okay, buy the Taric. Bro, I'm so bad at this. This is like early set bullshit when I don't know what the units look like and I'm just keep forgetting what's a Bastion, what's not a Bastion. I'm rolling pretty deep here, so I guess I'm not trying to go level 10. I don't really value putting in Frost because they all have no items anyways. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't like lose. Okay, what's my Nunu's health? Yeah, I lose this fight. That's expected. I need to see what my Nunu's health is. Because I'm pretty sure it's always Warmogs. Instead of Rabadons. Or maybe it's just instead of the other thing. Maybe Rabadons is fine. Because Rabadons gives 8%. Change champ duplicate. Yeah, might as well. Who cares? Olaf 2. I'm rolling for Diana. Because I think Diana really spikes my board. Yeah, there we go. I'm down to reforge these as well, actually. That's a pretty good idea. Like this is pretty good because it helps heal my Nunu. But if I get like a Giga item, I can put on. If I get an AP item, I can put on this guy. If I get an AD item, I can put on this guy. And if I get like a tank item, I can put on this guy. Right? So we have good options for reforging. Like you really can't miss. I never built anti-heal, by the way, so that's kind of a bit. It might hurt me in some of these fights, like with a Briar that heals a bunch. But this is a ghost fight, so I should be fine. I think the only person that beats me is the Sugarcraft person, but I don't know how the Sugarcraft person matches up into the other boards, right? Sunfire Cape is anti-heal, might as well, because I don't have any. I really want to see my Nunu's HP, like how much I scaled it to. What? What the fuck? She doesn't even need Asterix. Oh my god, it was definitely take the anti-heal. Buy Charm, sure. What am I rolling for? I'm rolling for Shen? I guess I just decided that I can't make 10. I shouldn't be rolling here either. Some questionable decisions I'm making at the end of this fight. Crowd. No, Viger needs the item. It's on Viger, you dumbass. Oh my god. Okay, I was trolling at the end of this game. I was trolling at the end of this game for sure. That was definitely on Viger. No? Why am I putting on Diana? I guess she does do a lot of damage. We'll see what the damage report is. I also need to see my Nunu scaling. I still want to see what the thing is. No, Diana didn't do as much damage as Viger, right? Okay, please show my... Like, right-click the Nunu. I just want to see how much HP it has. Oh, I guess I could just swap the Taric finally. I figured it out. Oh, this guy's just rolling for Briar 3. Okay, well, it's a guaranteed win now. Okay, what's my Nunu's final HP? Come on. Show it, show it, show it, show it. Please. I should have looked at it just for knowledge sake. It's definitely over 4,000, right? It's probably over 5,000. But I would like to see it. If it's 5,000, 5,000. Okay, let's do the math. 5,000 times 10% is 500, right? 500 is 10% bonus amp, right? So if I'm at 5,000, if I'm at 4,000 HP, doesn't Warmogs give the same amount of damage amp as the Rabadons? It's just the Rabadons give 60 AP. So it's a matter of if 60 AP is worth it. Whatever. Let's show the final board before we end the video. I definitely think it's not Rabadons, but maybe it is. We'll see how it plays out when their stats release, because it's too hard to calculate for me at least. I think Spark is probably worse. You probably don't want Spark. You probably just want somebody else with a Shiv, right? Probably just Viger with a Shiv is better if you're going for optimal build, right? And then you can fit in both Rabadons and Warmogs. The reason I don't think it's Rabadons is because Rabadons added Rabadons gives 60 AP, and then it makes you do 8% bonus damage, right? Basically, you can get that bonus damage from the Warmogs just flat out, right? Because Warmogs flat out, because of the Nunu Hero Augment, Warmogs gives 12% bonus HP. So that 12% bonus HP translates to, at minimum, 8% damage amp, right? Because it's 2% per 100 HP that the Nunu has. And it scales your bites, like your 35 HP now. Every time, instead of getting 35 HP, you're basically gaining like 38 HP or 39 HP, right? So instead of getting you basically get like 4 HP extra per bite, which, you know, after a while translates to some extra change of bonus damage as well. So I definitely think it's not the optimal build, but it's okay. As you can see, this was the Hero Augment. Hopefully this video was enjoyable. You can see, like, you know, Promised Consort Nunu basically going absolutely bonkers, and I think that it's a really strong comp, right? If you make it to level 9, you can fit in the 4 Bastion as well as the 5 Honeymancy, and I'm pretty sure that's enough defensive stats that you're pretty much just winning the game, or very close to winning the game. I struggled with the outcapping the Sugarmancy board, the Sugarcraft board, sorry, which, you know, I think Sugarcraft is very strong. I think the Sugarcraft would have won the lobby if they're like 6 Sugarcraft a lot of times and you get those stacks in. They're very, very strong. But nobody else really gave me too much of a difficulty. A lot of the boards were very weak, obviously. There's one guy that FF'd, so take that into account. But also, I wasn't in a particularly good Nunu spawn. It still turned into like an insanely strong board. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully that was enjoyable. And make sure to like and subscribe if you like this content and you want to see more Set 12 stuff.